A warm welcome to everyone once again to our YouTube channel. Today, we're going to watch the full story of the movie called Virupaksha. So without further ado, let's dive right into the full story of the movie. The movie starts with an incident that happened in a village in 1979. A man and a woman are seen performing some kind of ritual with the dead body of a little girl lying nearby. At this point, many children in the village have died, and the villagers are unable to understand the reason behind it. However, once the villagers learn about the ritual, they believe that this man and woman have killed the village children by performing some sort of black magic. The villagers get very angry, and then they break into the house, catch the man and the woman, tie them to a tree, and burn them alive. At that moment, the couple curses the entire village, saying that one day the village will have to pay for this crime. The man and woman have a young son, who is handed over to an orphanage by the villagers. Now, about 15 years pass after the incident. One day, a man named Viraya goes to his farm. At that moment, Viraya notices that the crows around are behaving unusually. He gets down from the tree to investigate. Just then, a crow attacks his head and flies away. After that, Viraya seems to fall into a trance. He starts walking towards the forest. The next day, Viraya's son arrives to visit his father, but only finds his father's turban. Viraya has gone missing. Then a young man named Surya arrives in the village with his mother. They are here to visit Parvati, the daughter of Surya's maternal aunt, who lives in this village. Surya has a friend named Kartik, who also comes along with them to the village. Meanwhile, the village head priest gathers everyone and announces that the village's annual festival will be held this coming Saturday. Now Surya and his mother arrive at Parvati's house. The next day, Surya and his mother go to meet the village head Harishchandra. When Surya sees Harishchandra's daughter Nandini, he starts liking her. Later, Surya tries to express his interest in Nandini when they are alone. But Nandini ignores him. At this point, the village doctor arrives at Harishchandra's house. He gives Nandini an injection. Surya's mother sees this, and Harishchandra explains that Nandini has had seizures since childhood and needs regular injections. There is a couple in the village who are secretly in love. A boy named Kumar and a girl named Sudha. Nandini helps them with their relationship. However, Sudha's family has arranged another marriage for her. Sudha meets Kumar and tells him that they should elope. Kumar agrees. He tells her they should run away together in a few days and live their own life. Then one day, as the village is preparing for the festival, Viraya, the man who had gone missing, suddenly returns. He walks straight to the temple and vomits blood in front of the deity, then collapses and dies there. Everyone in the village is terrified by this. The head priest tells the villagers that a powerful curse has returned, and that very bad things might happen. The priest then picks up his sacred text to figure out how to save the village from this curse. He declares that they must perform a ritual known as the Digbandhanam to protect the village. The temple is closed for 7 days, and no one is allowed to leave or enter the village. Anyone from outside must leave before sunset that day. Meanwhile, Surya, saddened that Nandini hasn't accepted his feelings, decides to leave the village with his mother. At the same time, Nandini suddenly suffers a seizure. She drops her medicine, and the bottle breaks. Harishchandra arrives quickly and tells the doctor. The doctor immediately contacts a man outside the village and instructs him to urgently bring a vaccine. The man takes the vaccine and rushes toward the village. Meanwhile, Surya, Kartik, and his mother are driving away in a jeep when they see there's been an accident on the road. They find out it's the man who was bringing the vaccine. Surya asks him what happened, and the man explains everything. Surya realizes Nandini's life is in danger. He sends his mother and Kartik away and takes the vaccine to return to the village as quickly as possible. By that time, the village finishes performing the Digbandhanam. Surya manages to return just in time to save Nandini's life. Nandini's father is very grateful to Surya for risking his life for his daughter. However, since the ritual is done, Surya now cannot leave the village for the next 8 days. That night, Nandini's friend Sudha plans to elope with Kumar. Sudha secretly leaves the village, breaking the protective boundary. Kumar arrives at the station. Sudha, scared, asks Kumar for 2 tickets. As she grows more nervous, Kumar tries to reassure her. Kumar is standing on the railway track when the train hits and kills him instantly. Sudha is traumatized by what she sees. She returns to the village in shock. In fear, she walks to a nearby beehive, and suddenly thrusts her face into it. The next day, Surya visits Parvati. Parvati, who has a problem with her ear, asks Surya to apply some medicine. As Surya applies it, Nandini arrives. Her life was saved because of Surya. So now, she has started to develop feelings for him. But she doesn't tell him directly. Instead, she takes a necklace that belonged to her mother and puts it around Surya's neck, telling him to always wear it for protection, that as long as he wears it, it's like she is always with him. That night, Parvati is alone at home and hears a strange sound coming from the forest. She goes to check what it is. She sees the village milkman standing there in fear. Suddenly, the man commits suicide in front of her. Villagers gather around. Parvati, in a panic, is taken back home. The next day, overcome with fear, Parvati stabs her ear and kills herself. Her funeral is held the same day. Surya attends. The villagers think she killed herself because of her long-standing ear issue. But Surya notices she stabbed the other ear, not the one she had pain in. This makes him suspicious. Meanwhile, we are shown a hermit living in the forest outside the village. A crow drops dead near him. Seeing this, the hermit heads toward the village. He tries to warn the villagers that something evil is about to happen. But they don't believe him. The hermit walks away. At the same time, Surya, suspicious about Parvati's death, begins investigating the milkman she saw before dying. And he starts checking the route that the milkman took into the village. At the same time, when the man who brings milk is walking along the village path, Surya sees his bicycle stuck in a muddy trench. Nearby, Surya also finds Sudha's body lying on the ground. While examining Sudha's bag that had fallen, Surya finds 2 train tickets, meant for Sudha and Kumar, who had planned to run away from the village. After seeing this, Surya realizes that Sudha had wanted to elope with Kumar, and after the village imposed restrictions, they must have tried to leave. That's why all of this happened. At that moment, Surya starts to piece together the sequence of events in his mind. Now Surya understands. After the village's lockdown, Sudha ran away with Kumar, and Kumar died after being hit by the train. After witnessing that, Sudha must have gone into shock. She came back to the village and killed Memeso. The man who brings milk may have seen Sudha dead, and due to the shock, he took his own life, which Parvati witnessed. After seeing that, Parvati also took her own life. Surya tells all of this to the village priest. Now Surya has a question. Who was the first person to see Parvati's death? It turns out it was none other than Nandani. Hearing this, Surya panics and rushes to find Nandani. Meanwhile, Surya sees Nandani walking in distress toward the abandoned well in the village. At this moment, Nandani is about to jump into the well. Before she does, Surya shouts at her. But it's too late. Nandani jumps into the well. Surya rescues her and brings her home. While Nandani is being treated, the village priest who came to the house says, "There might be a solution in an ancient book of mantras, I will check." At this point, Surya is puzzled and wants to find out what really happened in this village years ago. He asks the village doctor about it. The doctor explains that many years ago, around 1979, a deadly epidemic killed many children in the village. Around that time, a man named Venkat moved into the village with his wife. One day, while returning from work in the village fields, a man named Velu saw Venkat and his wife performing some ritual over the body of a dead child. When Velu told the villagers, without properly investigating, they assumed Venkat and his wife were behind the children's deaths. The villagers killed the couple, according to the doctor. After that, strange sounds began to be heard from Venkat's house. Even after his death, people believed Venkat's spirit still haunted the house. So they asked the village priest to perform a cleansing ritual and completely sealed off the house. After hearing this, Surya tells the doctor, "If that's the case, let's start investigating from the root of the problem." Surya goes with the doctor to examine the house. There, Surya notices a mark on a table where a book had once been, but the book is missing, meaning someone has been entering the house. Surya then finds another book hidden in a secret compartment. Reading through it, Surya learns that Venkat had been researching a dark ritual to transfer the soul of a dying person into another living body through their eyes before death. After this, Surya tells the doctor that all the recent deaths in the village must be connected to this ritual. So they must find Venkat's son. At this point, the village priest tells the people, since the evil spirit is now trapped inside Nandani's body, there is no other solution but to destroy it along with her in a ritual. Nandani's father, Harishchandra, opposes this. Despite that, the villagers try to forcibly place Nandani's body inside a box to take her for the ritual. Surya and the doctor arrive just in time. The doctor injects Nandani with a sedative. Surya tells the villagers that the sedative will keep Nandani unconscious for 8 hours. Within that time, he promises to solve the mystery. Then Surya leaves to investigate the orphanage where Venkat's son was supposedly sent. But upon arrival, Surya learns that the orphanage had closed down 7 years ago. And before that, Venkat's son had escaped. Surya returns to the village. Near the village forest, Surya meets a hermit. Surya tells the hermit everything that happened in the past few days. The hermit then says, someone trained in Venkat's dark arts is now trying to take revenge on the village. It must be Venkat's son. They begin searching the forest's caves. While exploring, the hermit and Surya discover a suspicious cave and suspect that Venkat's son might be alive. Inside, they find the same symbol from Venkat's house, along with the original mantra book, just like the one the village priest had. After examining it, the hermit confirms that this is the real book. At that point, Surya realizes that the priest's book must be a fake. Then Surya finds an identity card on the ground. It belongs to Kumar, Sudha's lover from the village. At this moment, Surya realizes that Kumar must be Venkat's son. But that raises more questions. If Kumar had died in the train accident, how is all of this happening? The hermit uses his spiritual insight to explain that Kumar voluntarily ended his life and, through that, his soul entered Sudha's body. Later, Kumar killed Sudha as well. Then, his spirit moved into the body of the milkman who saw Sudha's body. The milkman killed himself in front of Parvati. Then, Kumar's spirit entered Parvati's body. Eventually, Parvati also took her own life. Now, Kumar's spirit is inside Nandani's body. At this point, Surya has another question: who switched the mantra books in the priest's possession? If the real book is here, then someone from inside the village must have given the fake one to the priest. Which means, someone in the village has been helping Kumar all along. Now it's very late at night. The villagers make a decision. There's no point in waiting for Surya any longer. They gather and carry the unconscious Nandani in a box to the temple for the ritual. Then, the priest begins the ritual using his own blood. By now, it's clear to everyone watching the movie that the priest has the wrong book. It does not contain a way to stop the evil force. Instead, it describes a ritual that strengthens the spirit even more. But since no one here knows about it, they continue to perform the ritual. After a while, the priest arrives with Surya. At that moment, Surya realizes that by now, everyone in the village has already fallen under the influence of the evil force. At this point, the Swami tells Surya that anyone within the village who helps Kumar's spirit will not be affected by the evil force. He says if they can find that person, they might be able to save the villagers. So with that, Surya starts observing the villagers very carefully, trying to figure out who among them is missing. That's when Surya realizes it must be Harishchandra, Nandani's father. Surya quickly sets out to find Harishchandra. Meanwhile, the Swami begins chanting to use his power to stop the evil force. But it doesn't work. Suddenly, the box that held Nandani breaks open, and the spirit that had possessed her emerges. Along with that, the Swami too becomes a victim of the evil force. At this point, Surya reaches Harishchandra's house and begins searching everywhere for him. While investigating, Surya accidentally drops some water, which flows downward. This leads Surya to discover that there's a hidden door beneath the house. Surya opens it and finds a secret underground room built under Harishchandra's house. Once there, Surya sees a photo. That photo turns out to be of Venkat's family. But after seeing the photo, Surya is shocked to realize that Venkat had another daughter. After some time, Surya manages to find Harishchandra lying unconscious inside the house. Surya shows him the photo and asks who the other person in the picture is besides Venkat, his wife and son, and how the photo ended up here. At that point, Harishchandra begins to reveal the truth to Surya. You might remember, after Venkat and his wife were killed, the villagers suspected that someone else was still living in Venkat's house. The village priest concluded it must be Venkat's spirit and performed a cleansing ritual to seal the house. During that ritual, Harishchandra secretly entered the house. That's when he saw that Venkat's young daughter was still alive inside. Harishchandra tells Surya that the little girl is Nandani. He raised Nandani as his own daughter. Surya then tells Harishchandra that the one helping the vengeful spirit from within the village is Nandani herself. After Kumar was placed in a children's home, he escaped some time later and returned to live in the village. Now it becomes clear, inside Nandani's body lives the spirit of her brother Kumar. The two of them are now working together to take revenge on the village. At this point, Nandani, now freed from the box, joins with Kumar, and they try to burn the villagers alive. That's when Surya arrives. Surya tells Nandani not to kill innocent people for what her parents did. He says it was her father who started everything. Hearing this, the spirit of Kumar becomes furious inside Nandani's body. Kumar begins to reveal why their father tried to perform such rituals. At the time, Kumar's mother was paralyzed. Venkat had tried various treatments to cure her but nothing worked, so he resorted to black magic. Venkat mastered occult practices and created a magical necklace. He put it on his wife's neck and, using his knowledge of black magic, attempted to place her soul into the corpse shown at the beginning of the movie, hoping to revive her in a healthy body. But the villagers misunderstood his actions. They gathered together and murdered Venkat's entire family. They placed Kumar in an orphanage, unaware that Venkat also had a daughter. When the house was being sealed, Harishchandra rescued Nandani and raised her as his own. As Nandani grew up, one day she returned to her old home. Around the same time, Kumar, who had escaped the orphanage, met Nandani. After that, both of them trained themselves in the same occult rituals their father had practiced. For years, they learned and prepared with the intent of avenging their parents' deaths by killing the villagers. Also, you might remember that even the spellbook the village priest had was secretly replaced by none other than Nandani. The first act of revenge they carried out together was killing Velu, the man from the paddy fields. Velu had observed what Venkat was doing and wrongly informed the villagers, which is why they teamed up to eliminate him. So now they tell Surya that none of the villagers deserve forgiveness, they all must die. Hearing that, Surya tells Kumar and Nandani that if they want to kill the villagers, they'll have to kill him first. He says, "I know Nandani loves me. That's why you gave me the protective necklace your father had created for your mother." It's true, because Nandani loved Surya, she gave him the necklace. However, the spirit of Kumar inside Nandani's body isn't ready to stop. He begins using his power to drive the villagers into the fire one by one. In the end, with no other option left, Surya grabs a knife and stabs himself. He knows Nandani loves him deeply. Seeing this, Kumar's spirit is momentarily suppressed, and Nandani rushes to Surya. But Surya knows that there is now no way to remove Kumar's spirit from Nandani's body. Kumar again begins driving the villagers into the fire. At that moment, Surya stabs Nandani with the same knife he used on himself. Because the only way to save the villagers is to destroy Kumar's spirit. But Surya can't destroy just the spirit, so he has no choice but to stab Nandani too. As a result, Kumar's spirit is expelled from Nandani's body. Though badly injured, Nandani comes to Surya in her final moments and kisses him. Then, her lifeless body falls to the ground. In the end, Surya's sacrifice saves the lives of all the villagers. Later, the villagers gather to conduct Nandani's final rites. And with that, this amazing movie comes to an end. So, What do you think about today's movie? If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more movies like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to all. With more awesome movies coming your way soon, I'll take my leave for today. Wishing you all the best.